All right, we should be broadcasting now.
Yep, I just got the notification.
Yeah, excellent. Me too.
Okay, it does sound better on my end. I don't have the chat open, so if somebody can, actually, I can open up Firefox.
Yeah, I can. Okay.
Okay, how was that?
Much better. Back.
And there's the chat. Okay, I see Lincoln. Paul, much better. Hey, Cheapskate, how are you? So the feedback issue is not an issue.
I think we're doing good.
All right.
All right.
Good. Well, Brad, we had a couple of stories we just wanted to kind of talk about.
Yeah.
And did you want me to start with the bicentennial? Well, not the bicentennial, but.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, but I read an article that stated in 2016, the government passed a law to celebrate the semi-quincentennial of our country's founding. So, which is only going to be in what, 7 years or so. But I don't know. I thought it was interesting that they're already planning on doing that. Let's see. I just noticed in the chat feedback again. All right, okay, let's keep going. All right.
Yeah, we'll just try it, see what happens.
All right, I'm going to turn off the chat just completely. So yeah, basically that's it. Do you have any bicentennial coins in your collection, Brad?
Yeah, I've got a few. I've got some really nice bicentennial half just clad coins that I've pulled out of rolls that, I mean, they're literally just completely uncirculated.
Yeah.
And I've got a silver bicentennial set, a 40% silver, with the quarter, the Eisenhower, and the $50.
Right. I just have the unminted set. How about you, Michael? Do you have any bicentennial coins in your collection?
Yeah, I got a couple quarters. I have a couple of I have 1 or 2 Ikes. One's a 40% silver Ike from 1976. And then I have a couple of halves.
Like, I remember when the whole bicentennial thing came about, it was kind of a big deal. And in this article, I should put a link to it in the description. The person brought up the argument that why should we spend tax dollars on creating coins for the 250th anniversary, or be very careful about what we spend. And I can kind of see that, but it brought up another interesting point that the U.S. Mint is pretty much a profit-making institution. It's part of the Treasury, so it does fall into the federal budget. But the coinage, so the Mint does spend money to do things like procure the blanks and to mint the coinage and distribute it, but then it's distributed to the Federal Reserve at face value. So overall, the difference between what it costs to mint the coinage and distribute it at face value makes a profit. So if it costs like 6 cents, say, to produce a quarter, and it goes to the Federal Reserve for 25 cents, that difference is profit for the government, it's seigniorage. So, and it's a lot of money. I think it was close to $100 million recently. Wow. So, I don't know. I think the argument about we shouldn't be wasting money producing coins to celebrate the 250th anniversary of the founding of the country is, I don't think it's a good argument to not do it. I think we absolutely should do it.
That doesn't sound like a good argument if they're going to turn a profit anyway. So,
and I guess it always has, whether it's a special event or not. The Mint does make a lot of profit. So it's not like tax dollars are going there. It's certainly not that money's being always properly spent. There are things they probably do that isn't the best decision, but
I think that's going to be anywhere in government.
Right, exactly. Now they said, which wasn't a big surprise, no designs have been chosen yet because it's so far off. But in a sense, it really isn't. If we're talking about 2026, then it takes that much time to design the coins, to determine what's going to be made, when they're going to be made, produce the dies, market them, everything else. So I don't know. I think it'll be here before we know it. I'm not sure when the bicentennial coins first came out. Was it 75?
Yeah, I'm not 100% certain. I'm not 100% certain when they came out. I think some of them were produced in 75.
Right. Yeah, they were produced before. I know they were produced before 76. I don't know if they were released in 75, I guess is what I'm getting at. But I don't know. What are your thoughts? If there are new designs, which it sounds like there will be, do you hope the mint stays with that sort of classic U.S. coin design, or would you? I don't know. I kind of wonder if they'll do a series sort of like they did with the Jefferson nickels and the Lincoln cents. A short series. I think that'd be neat. Probably in the, I don't know, maybe in the quarters for you have more area for a better design. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's something I hadn't really thought of. That, well, first, I love the term, the semi-quincentennial. But I really, not that the bicentennial seems like it was yesterday, but yeah, when you think about the process of, especially when it goes through a committee to determine what the design is going to be and agree upon it and then move forward, it has to take time, and we're not that far off, I guess.
Yeah, and
anyway, I thought that was an interesting article. I really hadn't thought about the country being 250 years old, and then on top of that, the new coinage and new stamps and whatever else the government decides to produce.
Yeah, I haven't thought about it at all either, and it's crazy that it's coming up that quick. But like you say, the earlier they start, the more preparation they have. The better design submittals they could get. I mean, it'd be nice if they did it right. And
yeah, there are so many stories associated with the founding of this nation that it would be interesting if more of those stories were depicted on coins, which is why I'd love to see a series. I'm not saying like the 50 states quarters, but something along the lines of the Jefferson nickels or the Lincoln cents. I think that would be pretty interesting.
Yeah, multiple designs. Yeah, that would be neat.
Yeah. Now, this time last week, you were on the road back from the ANA convention.
Oh yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that. What did you see? What was neat there?
Oh, we had a lot of fun. I tell you, they did a really good job. I took my 5-year-old daughter and my wife went with me. So for the kids, they have a lot of stuff. They had an entire section for the kids to do activities, and all of the booths. There was a certain number of booths that each had a trivia question, and you get your paper. Your child would get the paper, and you had to walk around and seek out the booths with that were numbered with a special marker, and they would help you answer your trivia question. For each booth had a question, and it was real neat. And a lot of them gave out prizes. I think she got like from the PCGS booth, she got a slabbed Lincoln cent. It's nothing special, but it's just a new Lincoln cent that was in a slab holder. So she's got a good example of what a slab coin looks like. There was there was an ancient coin booth, and he gave her a little ancient coin, and then there was some foreign coins given out, a lot of different stuff. So it was really neat for the kids. I thought they did a good job trying to incorporate, you know, the younger folks and trying to get them into collecting. So that was neat. And then they had a museum kind of display. Two of the things I thought were really cool, because I've read a lot about them and heard about them, and everybody talks about them: the 43 copper cent and the 44 steel cent, which those are obviously, the steel was supposed to be 43 and copper after 43, you know. And they've both gone for quite a bit of money. There's not just a handful of examples of each, and I got to see one of each of those, and then I got to see a 1913 V nickel, which there's only 5 known. So that was really cool too. But yeah, it was overall a really good time. They had it in a great place, good location.
Yeah.
And, they did a really good job with it, and I'm looking forward to maybe since it's in my neck of the woods, going to the World's Fair of Money in August in Chicago.
Are you definitely doing that?
I think I am.
Good for you.
I don't know if the wife and my daughter might go with me. I don't know. So we'll probably just go for a day maybe this time instead of staying in Chicago. I don't know.
Yeah.
We haven't really talked about it a whole lot yet, but I'm going to try to make it up there. It's only 3-hour drive for me. So
that's great. That's in the middle of August.
Yes. Yep.
Oh, here I took my camera off. There, I have the cans on now. I don't know if the feedback was coming through my speakers or not, but now they're coming. I'm hearing through the headphones. So, well, that's great. That's awesome. The 1913 V nickel, was there a story behind that? I mean, did they have a little?
They actually had a guy there, and he basically was walking around telling people the story about it, and how it was a Mint employee that was smart enough to figure out that hey, I'm going to make 5 of these.
Yep.
And I'm going to smuggle them out of the Mint and keep my mouth shut for about X number of years, I think about 10. And then what he actually did was, there was a big ANA show, and he put an ad out that said, anybody that can bring me a 1913 V nickel, I'll give a monetary reward to, you know.
Yeah.
Well, knowing he had the only 5 in existence, what he was trying to do was create kind of an alibi for himself, for one, and then create some buzz about a 1913 V nickel, because there wasn't supposedly any of them produced, you know.
Right.
So the guy was kind of smart, and he went to the show and he took 2 of those nickels, and I think he ended up selling them later on for a very nice price. So yeah, there was a guy walking around, and he'd just kind of fill you in on some of the stories and of the stuff that was in the museum. So that was really neat.
Did they talk about the 1913 nickel that was sold in, wasn't too long ago, about 4 or 5 years ago, the Walton coin and the story behind that?
Not really. He told us a little bit about it. I think that's the one where he was on. Was that the one that he was on his way to the show and got into an automobile accident?
Yes.
Yeah, and there was just coins everywhere. He just gave us a real small background into that. It's been a while, but I've read some stuff about that, and how it kind of disappeared. Everybody, the family ended up with it in the attic, I think, and I think they ended up sending it in to get authenticated, and it came back as a fake, maybe. So they hadn't really thought of anything about it, and then years went by, and I think they resubmitted it, didn't they?
Yeah. He died in the car. Walter was his name. He was going to go to the ANA show. This is like in the 60s. And there was a terrible car crash. He died. They recovered the coins from the car crash. And I think he wanted, as I remember the story, Walton felt that it was a genuine 1913 nickel, and he wanted to go to the ANA show to have it displayed by a dealer friend of his, because Walton was a banker or something, so he went all around the country, and he was able to get all these amazing coins. And yeah, it was something like you said, it was recovered after the accident. The family found it, had it, brought it to a dealer. The dealer said no, it's an altered date or an altered fake. So, or it's a real coin, but it was altered, so it wasn't an original 1913. And yeah, the family just held on to it, and I don't know if it was 1 or 2 generations later, but it was in fairly recently. They put it up for auction, and it was authenticated as a genuine 1913. It was like a proof something, like a proof 64, proof 63, and that's the one that sold to Jeff Garrett. I think it was like 2013 or 2014 for $3 million, $4 million or something like that.
Yeah, a lot of money.
It's just crazy. But the connection I wanted to make is there are only 5 V-nickels that are known. Is the one, or was the one at the ANA show, was that owned by the ANA, or was that?
No, that was out of the, I can't remember the name.
That's all right.
Starts with a B, somebody's collection.
Okay.
What was his name? BB collection, maybe? Something like that.
Because yeah, there of the 5, there are 1 or 2 in museums, and then the rest are, well, the other 2 or 3 are owned by private individuals, but
right.
They don't exactly say who they are, and understandably so, I guess. I have not. Okay, I have the chat on now. I just want to see if there are any. Now, Trey, were you able to hop in here? I did email you the link.
I think he said it wasn't there.
Okay, let me try doing this.
He said it wasn't there, so I emailed it to him, and it says he was unable to join the call.
Oh, really? Okay. Oh, Trey had that problem last time too. That's what I was talking about earlier, Brad.
I had that same problem, Trey. Just try it again a couple times. I had to try it about 3 times. Yeah, Lemon, that is crazy money for a coin.
Yeah, can you imagine that? Now, I think the whole the Jeff Garrett $3-4 million purchase back in 20 whatever. It's an asset. I mean, he's hoping it's going to go up in value. It's an asset he can borrow against if he ever had to. But I don't think it's in his private collection. I'm sure it's stored somewhere, and they'll try to sell it sometime. But I can't imagine spending $3 million. I guess
no.
If you're an investment house and you think you're gonna make a profit, that's one thing. But if you're a private individual, that's just nuts.
Yeah.
There are definitely other things that I would do before
there you go, Trey.
buying a coin for that much money.
Yeah. I agree, Michael.
Hey, Trey, are you with us?
Yeah.
There he is.
Oh, there he goes.
Nope. He's
out. Hey, you were on for a moment. So try it again. I just want to say hi to a bunch of people. We have Big T, Lemonhead, Blues, Lincoln is here, SJ's here, Paula, Youper Girl, hey Youper, and Paul's here, American Woodland Relics. Have I missed anybody?
I don't think so. Oh, Blues. Did you say hi to Blues?
I think I did.
Yeah, Blues coins.
Well, what we're going to do is, Brad and I just wanted to talk about a couple of things we heard about. And in fact, Brad, did you want to mention something about the?
Yeah, I was doing some reading, and I noticed that the American Numismatic Association, the ANA, is actually going to have a coin designing contest, and it's kind of set. You're supposed to be using your imagination, and the coin is coming out in 2069, so 50 years from now. and they're wanting you to imagine a commemorative coin for something that is going to happen in the next 50 years, basically. And it's neat. You just, it's going to be judged on the artwork and your creativity, stuff like that. There's prizes. There's the grand prize is the big 5-ounce Apollo 11 50th anniversary silver dollar.
That's nice.
The second prize is the proof silver dollar, the Apollo 11, just the regular proof silver dollar, and the third prize is the Apollo 11 2019 proof clad $50. But yeah, it's all for National Coin Week, and the theme this year is discover the past and envision the future. So, it's pretty neat. So if you're interested in that, you just have to be a member of the ANA. And for the youngsters, I think it's free to join the young numismatists, but really not too bad at all. I think you can buy a membership if you're needing to buy one. I think it's $28 maybe, and it's great. They send you you get access to their website, and they'll send you a copy of the numismatists. You can either get the paperback copy if you spend a little more money, or you can get the digital copy. So I just do the digital copy, and I just joined this year, so I'm looking forward to being on that side a lot. But yeah, I thought the coin design contest was kind of neat.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
So just trying to get some interest.
I heard about something like that for like a basketball commemorative.
What's that, Michael?
I heard about something like that for a basketball commemorative.
Oh, that's cool. It's a design contest.
Yeah, they were having a contest to design a commemorative for basketball.
Huh, cool.
I'm pretty sure I heard something like that.
It looks like Trey's joined us again, so
that's good.
I think it was on the coin Q&A with Paula and Ken, and
oh, okay.
I think they mentioned, Shumar said something about that, or maybe Paula didn't. Can't remember. Yeah, they did say something about that.
Well, it's good to hear that, because back in the day, it was really up to the engraver to determine what the coins are going to look like. They didn't have commemoratives necessarily, or very many commemoratives back then. But now there's a committee, the Citizens Coin Advisory Committee, or something along those lines, and it takes a while to figure this out. So it's nice that they're soliciting designs from the public, and in this case, really from the general public, to create that commemorative. So I like that. I like that idea. That's good.
Yeah.
Well, hey, speaking of young numismatists, we have a couple here. And one of the things we wanted to talk about with Michael and Trey is what sorts of things they are interested in. And in a general sense, how did they get started in coin collecting? And, why did they pick coin collecting over collecting baseball cards or sports memorabilia or whatever? So, Michael, why don't we start with you? Tell us a little bit about how you began in coin collecting and what you collect, and take it from there.
The way I got into coin collecting was from a Couch Collectibles video that I saw, because it popped up in my recommendations, and I just clicked on it, and it interested me, so I kept watching them, and then I really liked it. So then I got to learn more about it, and here I am.
So what do you collect, Michael?
I collect mainly coins. I have a sports card collection too.
With regards to coins, do you collect just American coins? Do you collect world coins? Do you have a favorite series of coins?
I collect currency, foreigns, US, pretty much anything.
So you collect anything. Well, that's good. Trey, how about you? Tell us about your story with coin collecting. How did you get involved? And
So it partially started off. I had gotten a check for a little bit of birthday money from my grandma, and then I actually got like, you know, some of the older bills. I got one of those, so it kind of intrigued me. I did more research on it, and then I realized it really wasn't worth too much. And then when I was researching about that bill on YouTube, you know, I clicked on a coin op video, and then yeah, it's pretty much how I got started.
And do you collect just U.S. coins, Trey, or do you collect foreign coins as well?
I have some foreign coins, but mostly mostly American coins, and I'm really into the proof sets also. So
how do you obtain your coins? Do you buy mostly online? Do you go to coin shows? Do you
coin shows? And I also have a coin shop pretty close. So
how about you, Michael?
I usually go to a couple of the coin shops around in my area, and then once in a while I'll go to a coin show and get some coins.
Awesome. How about coin roll hunting? Do you guys do that?
Of course.
What do you search for?
I search pretty much everything but halves. I search for varieties and errors, also silver, you know, like wheat pennies, buffalo nickels, mainly to fill my books. But I've been slowing down. I'm getting a high quantity of coins lately, so.
So do you think with your high quantity of coins you might begin to specialize, or do you not see yourself doing that?
I would say I could see myself specializing.
And if you
in like pennies probably.
That's awesome. How about you, Michael? Do you coin roll hunt at all?
I usually don't completely coin roll hunt because I can't afford like big boxes and stuff.
Sure.
So usually I just get pennies, but they're always uncirculated, so it's hard to coin roll hunt uncirculated pennies.
Well, I know the 2019s have some double dies on them. The Philadelphia. Seeing those on.
Yeah, I have heard that.
They have some double dies, so that's pretty cool.
I think they've found. I think there's 5 attributed double dies. I saw somebody talking about that this past week. So the 2019s already have 5 attributed double dies.
Yeah, that's.
Didn't Shay post something on Facebook about something that he found? Somebody did recently.
Yeah, I think that was a 2011, maybe.
Oh, okay.
So it was a little bit older one, but unless he's posted something else.
Yeah, I've said this before. I'm not really well versed in the modern stuff and the varieties. I think it's fascinating. It's just not something I've grabbed hold of. So no, that's great. That's great that you're doing that.
Yeah. Do you guys try to promote coin collecting to any of your friends, or do you really just kind of?
Oh yeah.
Just keep it to yourself. I've always wondered about that. Do many of your friends show an interest when you talk about it, or?
No.
No.
No, it's not really their thing, I guess.
Yeah. Well, maybe not right now, but like me, I started out with my mom doing very basic stuff, but didn't get into it till I got a lot older. So you never know. You keep dropping those hints, and they might be into it someday.
Right.
And I wonder if things like the Great American Coin Hunt and things like finding silver and rolls, even if somebody's not interested in coins, I think a lot of people are interested in the idea that this coin, which I got for 50 cents or 25 cents or whatever, is worth a lot more than that.
Right.
But what advice would you and we'll start with you, Trey. What advice would you give to a young numismatist who is thinking about entering the hobby? What would you say to him or her?
I would say try to get as knowledgeable as possible. Like buy the books, and then get maybe some penny boxes from the bank, and then try to see if there's a local coin shop so you can talk to them, and they can help you a lot. But really the knowledge really is what you need in the hobby. Because, if you don't know, like let's just say you buy a slab, or let's just say you buy a proof set and there's a double die in it, but you resell it for 25, that's just a double die you could have had. So knowledge really is key.
Yeah, I would agree with that. How about you, Michael? What if somebody walked up to you at school and said, "Hey, I hear you collect coins. What can I do to get started?" What would you recommend they do?
I'd probably say the same thing as Trey. Do some research on what coins you would like to do most, and before you buy anything or sell anything, just buy the books and learn about all the coins that you might have, and buy some, maybe buy a loop or something.
Yeah,
like that.
Well, I agree with you guys. I think it's important that any numismatist, but especially young numismatists, it's not just collecting coins. Anybody can collect coins, right? But to really understand them, you should study them. You should understand, why they were minted, what's depicted on them, what years were they made, what different types of them there are, and that comes from the knowledge piece. You don't have to have a huge library of books like you did in the past. The internet just has an enormous amount of information, whether it's YouTube videos like this and others, or whether it's a blog, whether it's just something else online. There's a lot of information out there. I'd say they also should probably think about understanding what damaged coins are, because I would imagine young collectors don't have a lot of money anyway to acquire coins, and you want to put your money to the best use, and you don't want to spend a lot of money in a coin that is it's pretty deflating to buy a coin and spend a certain amount of money on it, and then you determine it's been cleaned or something like that, and the value just isn't there. I also really like how you said that you both go to coin shows and your local coin shops, because I think that's huge. It's easy to buy supplies and coins online. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But if you can establish a relationship with your local coin shop, even if you just go once a month, that's terrific. And seeing the coins in hand versus a digital picture, I think, makes a huge amount of difference to not only just understanding what's out there, but when you buy something, I'd rather have something in hand than buy something based on maybe a fuzzy picture on eBay or that sort of thing.
Or a different picture than the coin.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what I'm always scared of.
Yeah, eBay's known for that, isn't it?
Right.
In eBay, you could get a different coin than you thought was pictured, but when you see them in your own hands, you can see exactly what you're getting.
That's right.
That's exactly right. Yep.
Even though eBay may have, or the seller may have, a terrific return policy. Now, what a pain in the neck to have to do that. If you go to a coin shop or a coin show and you see the coin right there, it's quite different.
Right.
Now, you mentioned a loop. That's an important tool. But do you both? I know Trey has a microscope, which is a great tool, but not exactly portable. Do you both have good quality magnifiers?
Yeah, I have a 10, a 30, and a 60.
Wow. Okay.
Loop.
I have.
Yeah, when I go to coin shows, I have the brand is Belomo. If you want to know, it's a folding loop. It's a better quality one. It's on a lanyard, so I can wear it around my neck. I'm not going to lose it or leave it somewhere.
I need to get one of those lanyards.
Yeah, it's about a 5 power, and I have a lighted 5 power that I keep here. And I have a nicer. It's the company is Eschenbach. It's a 10 power, but it's a really, the lens is really high quality, because I think if you go really beyond 5, even 7, you get a lot of distortion. So if you're going to get a higher power loop, you might want to, as time goes by, think about a nicer one. But yeah, having just a 5 power magnifier or loop is a really good tool. What do you guys have for books? I assume you have the Red Book.
Yeah. Yes.
How often do you reference that?
Not all the time. I just use it for vintages because the price guides are not the best. In the Red Books. But yeah, just for like vintages and how to grade, just some basic lines on how to grade a certain series.
Okay. So touching on the whole price thing, let's say you wanted to get a Buffalo nickel and you saw one, how would you know if the price the dealer is asking is appropriate? Well, what references would you use to determine the price of a coin, the value of a coin, relatively?
I would use probably a gray sheet or Numis Media. Those types of things, because the gray sheet's wholesale, Numis Media is retail.
Right. Yeah, the free version is. Do you want to explain what Numis Media is? For those of you who may not know.
It's a price guide. You can pay to get. I'm pretty sure they have a dealer price guide, but I'm pretty sure you have to pay for that. But it's a free collector fair market value price guide, and it's on your phone. It's really simple, free to use. So I use it a lot.
How about you, Michael? What sort of either print references or online references have you found helpful in collecting coins?
Mainly I just use the Red Book, and some online websites like Numis Media. I don't have a grid sheet, so I'm gonna use the Red Book for like vintages and like I don't know how to describe it. Like to tell if a coin is around the good price, because I know Red Book prices aren't a good thing to look at, but they can have like a range of around where it should be.
Right.
Yeah, it's not the prices in Red Book aren't they're a little inflated, but you can get a good idea if you just kind of pay attention and compare what stuff goes for. You can kind of get a percentage of the Red Book value, and you can kind of base stuff off if you look at it enough. So it's definitely not, I don't think, completely worthless and
no,
as a price guide, but you guys are right. It's Numis Media and your wholesale gray sheet prices. Those are great references. So
also on eBay sold listings. If you go onto eBay, look it up on the sold listings. I do that quite often.
Yep.
That can be helpful.
Yeah.
Get a range of of what a coin will sell for.
Right, and that's just it. The price is relative. It's the price, the selling price of a coin is what that person at that time wants to pay for it. That price could be inflated. That price could be really quite low.
That's true.
So the more resources you access to determine those prices, the better. You'll hopefully get some sort of average. Are either of you members of the ANA?
No, I should though.
Yeah, like Brad said,
No, I'm not.
there's a young numismatist area of the ANA, and you think it's free, Brad? Did your daughter join?
Yeah, she joined, and it was free for her. I'm not sure if there's a certain age you have to be under or not, but we could probably find out real quick.
I know there's like A's for coins if you have like straight A's, and they'll send you coins or something. I've been on the ANA's website, but
Yeah, I know the young numismatist activities that they have in Colorado in the summer for the summer seminar. I think to participate in the young numismatists activities, you have to be 17 or younger or something like that. So there really is quite a range. And I don't know if the ANA has, if it's free or it's a discounted price. I would certainly hope it would be.
yeah.
It looks like it's pretty inexpensive. You can get a gold young numismatist membership for $11.
Oh,
And
wow.
you'll receive all the ANA member benefits, access to exclusive young numismatist activities and resources, and a 1-year subscription to the digital issues of the numismatist and all online archives. So
Yeah.
You can get the platinum membership for $26, and I think, yeah, you get the print and the digital issue of the numismatist. So there's not much difference. I mean, but still, that's pretty cheap.
It is.
And you know, a lot of folks are more than happy to do stuff to get young numismatists into coin collecting. So it probably would not be hard to find a sponsor. You know what I mean? So.
Now, Brad, how did folks at the ANA show react to your daughter walking around? If Charlie were here, I'd ask the same thing about his daughter or granddaughter.
They loved it. They love seeing the kids come out. So.
Yeah.
Speaking of kids, I overheard this dealer and this guy talking, and he's like, "Man, I'm so happy. There's a lot of kids here today." He's like, "I was gonna bring my son, but he just walks around for a few minutes and wants to go back home."
yeah. They love to see the kids come out. I mean, it's the future, so you know.
Yeah, and I would think they would go above and beyond to make that, whether it's a sale or whether it's just giving the kids things outright to encourage them to stick with a hobby. Yeah,
I agree. And anytime I used to take my daughter into my local coin shop, he always had something for her. So
right.
I'm sure there's a lot of people just like that. You know.
Yeah. My
LCS.
What's that, Michael?
My LCS usually has something like they'll give me instant extra. Not usually it's not usually that big of a thing, but it's just trying to keep me in the hobby.
Yeah, exactly.
Most coin dealers will have a draw or a cigar box or something like that with coins that they're not going to be $50 coins, but they're going to be coins that have value. And a lot of times they would just grab a handful and say, here you go, take these and see what they are and research them.
One time he gave me a 6-finger variety for the 2009 penny as an extra.
Mm-hmm.
Well, why don't we open the questions up to the chat? Do you have any questions for Trey or Michael? Anybody?
I just wanted to say at the coin show, there was this guy. He bought this bag of foreign coins, and he's like, "Do you collect coins?" He came to me and he's like, and I went. There's this guy that gave me 3 proof foreign coins for free. So I was like, wow.
Yeah. We were at the Pittsburgh show, and my daughter was walking around doing the trivia, and there was a booth that had, I don't even know how many large cents that you could pick through. You could sit there and pick through. I think they were $15 each, and there were hundreds in the in the display. And a guy was going through them, and I noticed them there because I was wanting to get in there and look at some. But we went to the next booth, and all of a sudden he came up and he handed my daughter a large cent that he had purchased off that guy. And
Oh, wow.
I said, hey, thank you, you know, really appreciate that. And he just said, hey, it's great to see the young ones out here. And he turned around and walked away. So there's just a lot of people, a lot of good people.
If you do have a question, either put my name or Brad's name or whatever. Like Youper Girl said or asked, Strange Treasures, Michael Mullins, what is your white whale? That one coin you want, but don't think you'll ever get.
I have to think about that. Like, I'm gonna have to say it's probably gonna be one of the Dahlonega mints because of the Dahlonega gold coins, because Dahlonega is like an hour away from here, so it's one of those coins that I really want, but I don't ever see myself getting.
Well, stick with it. I mean, gold coins are expensive anyway, but
right.
Especially if you specialize one day, you might find that you will have one in your collection.
Yeah, maybe so.
Yeah. How about you, Michael? What if your family won the lottery and said, "Hey, Michael, we're going to buy you an awesome coin"? What do you think you'd ask for?
I'm not quite sure. I don't think I'll ever own a gold coin for sure.
Why do you think that?
I don't know. I don't really have the money for one.
Yeah, not a whole lot of us do.
No, I got mine.
Yeah, that's why I probably won't get one because they're a lot of money.
They are.
And if I had the money for that for a coin, I'd honestly probably get like some other coins.
So you'd rather have a bunch of fairly inexpensive coins versus one expensive coin? And that's perfectly fine. Sure.
Because then if you lose that coin, then, well, you just lost a ton of money. But if you lose one of the smaller valued coins, then...
Yeah, set your sights high, buddy. You can acquire anything you want if you just set your mind to it. You know, save up. If you normally spend $20 a month on coins, save it up, or add to it a little bit here and there, and before you know it, you will be able to afford a gold coin.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Lemonhead said that's an impressive choice. Cheapskate says, Trey, keep it up, and by the time you're my age, you're going to be selling us gold coins. And Lincoln noted that I was 56 before I ever got a gold coin. Nothing's impossible. That is true. There probably aren't a lot of preteen, teenage students who have gold coins, so don't let that discourage you.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Right.
And hello, Mike Lyman. Mike says, I'll only get a gold coin if I dig one. Well, I hope so, Mike.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
And before I started collecting, I had no clue that there's half cents, 2 cents, 3 cents.
Yeah,
coins.
same.
I never knew those were made. And then, or half dimes. I always thought they just always made nickels.
And so how did you discover that there were all these odd denomination coins at one point in our numismatic history? Did a red book, or did you just go to a coin shop and say, what is this? Or
I've got my red book at a Hobby Lobby because my mom needs some stuff, and I was over walking around and I saw that there was a coin section. So I went over there and I found a I just thought, well, this looks like a helpful book, so I might as well get it. Yeah, this is a very helpful book, and that's how I figured out that there was those other denominations that I never would have known about.
Yeah, I think coin collectors would, well, U.S. coin collectors would agree that if you could only have one book for the hobby, the red book would probably be it. It's certainly not the best, as you said, with prices. I always struggled with grading by the red book.
Same.
I think the PCGS site is much better.
Those are the two things that I'm not good at. I'm not good at pricing, and I'm not good at grading.
Right. Well, how do you think a young numismatist, could improve his or her grading skills?
Mainly, I'd say look at some coins that are graded and look at like some of the details on them. And
I know.
try to remember what kind of details and what kind of marks would be on the coin.
I know CJ has 3D printed grading scales. Those would probably help a lot. And each coin is different, on which details are where and what that makes it grade. So
one of the things with the third-party grading companies is that these folks are supposed to be absolute experts in the field, and you'll see coins that are slabbed and look at their designation and think, what were they thinking? So it does take practice. It is relative, but there are some, like you said, there are some things to look for, and certain coins you look in certain areas. Now, Brad, you got, gosh, I think it was you, Brad. You got the ANA grading guide recently. Is that, what do you think of that?
Yeah, I really like it. It's got a lot of detailed pictures in it and descriptions of every coin imaginable to show you how to grade every coin. They list a lot of differences between the grades, so it's a incredibly great tool. I love it. And I used to use PCGS photo grading, and I just like having the in-hand reference a little more than the online reference. I don't know why, but it just seems a little easier to me. But it's a great book.
Yeah.
I should probably try to get that. Is it on just the ANA or?
It's the it's the American Numismatic Association grading standards.
Okay.
And I can, yeah, I'll send you a link or something after the show here, Trey, and
okay. Thank you.
Show you exactly what it is. It's a great book.
Right, and you can get those at Wizard Coin Supply. I think is a great online dealer. I get a lot of stuff through them. But that book you could get on Amazon, from Barnes and Noble. From you got yours at
Books a Million.
Yeah, right. So you can go to your bookstore and hopefully either they'll have it in stock or they can order it for you. Or I think they either recently updated it or they're going to be updating it. But by and large, there's not going to be that much difference between the two editions. So if you can get an earlier edition for something that's used or something that's offered at a better price because it's the earlier edition, then I'd certainly consider doing that.
Yeah.
Hi, Adriana. Adriana says, there are far worse things boys your age can get into. So you should be very proud of yourself for being a different kind of model for kids. I absolutely agree.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, especially there are, kids that are doing, drugs, vaping and all that. So especially at my school, kind of unfortunate to see those people go down the wrong path, and she's right, there are far worse things, you know.
There are worse things, and I think numismatics is a commendable thing because I tell my students, you're learning about economics, you're learning about history, you're learning about geography, you're learning about metallurgy, if you want to put it that, precious metals. It's a hobby that you're learning about researching and classifying. There are so many tangential, so many sort of side skills that you're learning in coin collecting that will help you later on in life. If you end up taking a course in, I don't know, 20th century European history, and if you collect world coins, then you'll be able to talk about things like the former Soviet Union. You can talk about Yugoslavia, which is now broken up into different countries, things like that. So it really is. It's one of those hobbies that it's in and of itself, it's great. But if you really take it seriously, and if you spend the time to not just take your coins and say, yeah, that's pretty, put it in a flip and put it in a box and put it somewhere. If you really take the time to research them, you can learn an awful lot.
Right.
Let's see. Any other comments for Michael and Trey? Otherwise, we'll probably wrap this up soon. And I apologize if we haven't said hello to, like, Chef. Hello.
Yeah, it's been great hearing from you guys. Get a different perspective. A younger collector's perspective is always neat.
Well, thanks for having me on here.
Now, Trey, you have a stream every so often. Michael, do you stream?
I stream like sometimes, but I usually do videos.
You do videos, okay. I would encourage no pressure. I would encourage the two of you to get together and maybe have a combined live stream, and you can just talk about your experiences with coin collecting. And you just never know. It's if you can get a few more people interested in it, you just never know where that will. It's like dropping the pebble in the pond. The waves are gonna go out, and you don't know how many other people you'll influence. So right. I would absolutely encourage you to do that. Like Brad said, your perspective is really important, and like a bunch of people have said in chat, Lincoln said it not too long ago, that you and others your age, that's where the future of the hobby is, because after a while, we're I don't know if we're going to stop collecting, but what you do now is going to hopefully benefit a lot of other people later on.
I think we just need to get more kids into the hobby, because a lot of kids are, interested in like video games, and it's just. And another thing is that coins, you can always, like, let's just say you needed to, let's just say you need $100. You could take that coin to a coin shop and get your money for like whatever you need, but you can't do that with like a video game. So it's kind of like almost savings too, in a way. I think that's more with like precious metal stacking, but still with coins, that like they'll always retain their value,
Yeah, they definitely will, certainly long term. If I were to go to a coin shop and buy a coin for, say, $50, that's obviously the retail price. And if I turned around and tried to sell it back to the dealer, he or she wouldn't give me $50, but that week. But right, hopefully over time those coins are going to appreciate, and they're an investment. And right. Video games and whatnot, not so much. I agree with you.
Like video games, they can teach some things, but coins, like, they can teach a lot about the different, like, all the history in the United States, and like why they made 2 cents. and like why all the compositions changed and all that stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Trey and Michael, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Sure. I'm sorry, and I apologize to both everybody here and everybody in chat for the earlier technical difficulties. I don't know what it is, if it's an issue with the speakers or the microphone, but I promise I'll get it taken care of next time.
Sorry I was late. Yeah.
Oh, no worries. So who is streaming tonight?
Ken has his big show.
Yeah.
Sunday. Pretty much a lot of people are on Sunday.
I think Coins for Amateurs, it's a really good stream. I think they're on Sunday evenings. They usually do their nickel box. That's usually right before the big show. So
yeah, they always have a great stream.
Excellent. All right, guys. Well, we'll end the broadcast here. Thanks for joining us, and thanks to everybody in chat for joining us. And we will. You're very welcome. Thanks for joining. And yeah, Brad and I we're thinking of maybe doing this once a month or so, just kind of going over coin stories and whatnot. So until next time, have a great day, great week, great month, and we'll see you all soon.
All right, thank you.
All right, bye guys.
Thanks for chatting with us. See you guys later.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.